By late 1943, the Allies finally have a fighter with a range of over 1,300 miles, enough to escort the bombers deep into Germany, the P-51 Mustang. Starting in December 1943, they begin guarding the bombers, forcing the Luftwaffe to dogfight over its own skies. May 27, 1944. American B-17s take off from bases in southern England. Soon, they're in the skies over France. The mission? Destroy Nazi synthetic fuel factories in Germany. The huge formation is escorted by the P-51 Mustangs. Leading a group of 4 Mustangs is Old Crow, piloted by Captain Clarence Bud Anderson.
I can't remember a time when I wasn't interested in flying. I mean, I had that desire to fly as far back as I can remember in my life.
He earned his Air Corps wings in September 1942 and became a fighter pilot. A year later, Anderson headed to England to fight the Luftwaffe. His fighter group, the 357th, will become the first P-51 Mustang unit in the 8th Air Force. Now, you're in the cockpit as 4 German fighters challenge Bud Anderson in one of the most electrifying dogfights of World War II. May 27, 1944. Bud Anderson's 4 P-51 Mustangs escort an American bombing mission. Now, relive the dogfight as he faces a flight of deadly German Me-109s. They're 2 formidable opponents. The P-51 Mustang is one of the Allies' top fighters.
It was a tremendous airplane. It was good at high altitude, good at low altitude. It was very maneuverable. I think in the hands of a good pilot, it could hold its own or do better than any of the enemy airplanes.
The Me-109 entered service in 1937. A favorite of the Luftwaffe, over 35,000 were produced, more than any other fighter in history.
The strengths of the 109 were that it was a very small but very fast aircraft. It was very difficult to see. It had a very low profile, and it also had a very good zoom rate. It could climb very quickly.
The P-51 is faster and turns tighter. It flies over 3,000 feet higher than the Me-109. But the Me-109 is more heavily armed and is a battle-hardened veteran, as are the men who fly them.
The German pilots had so much more experience and so much more flying time than the Allied fighter aircraft. Some of these pilots have been flying since 1935 and flew into the 40s, and this is one of the reasons why you saw such incredible kill rates, with some of these pilots getting 200 or 300 aerial victories.
Anderson has one advantage that the fighters of World War I lacked. Improvements in electronics now allow planes to carry a radio.
We hear on the radio that up front, ahead of us, they were being attacked. My wingman's on the inside. He calls out, hey, we got 4 bogies, unidentified airplanes, attacking us, coming down on us from 5 o'clock high. We're very vulnerable.
The opening moves of a dogfight are critical. Anderson can go left, right, straight, climb, or dive. If Bud turns left, he's in the angle of attack. If he goes straight, the Messerschmitt, its dive giving it superior speed, will overtake him. His only hope is to break right. The German is going too fast to make the sharp turn.
So we turn like this very hard.
Bud's flight does a half circle, then goes head-on toward the Germans. The 2 groups pass each other. The Germans turn left, so do the Mustangs. It's a lethal game of hunter and hunted as each side tries to get on the other's vulnerable 6 o'clock.
Now we got 4 Me-109s. We got 4 Mustangs coming around. They want to fight. So they're coming around, and we're coming around now in a big left circle. This goes about 2 times. Each time we come around, I'm a little closer to getting in trail with them. So we've turned their advantage now to our advantage.
Bud is here. The Germans are here. The Mustang's tighter turn gives them an inside track. The smaller turning radius allows the Mustangs to close in. Anderson's plan? Use this advantage to get on the ME-109's tail. Line up, fire.
You do all this stuff by instinct. You don't have it all figured out. You do it instinctively.
The Mustang's .450 caliber machine guns carry nearly 1,300 rounds. But that's just 20 seconds of ammo. Anderson needs to make every shot count.
We were all young, indestructible, I hope. I knew it was a lie, but you had to think that way.
The Germans spot the Mustangs closing the range and make a run for it. But with a top speed of 441 miles per hour, the Mustang is over 50 miles per hour faster than the ME-109. Then one German breaks away from the pack and climbs.
I'm looking at this guy, and I don't want to get too far up or he can drop down on me.
Anderson sends two of his Mustangs, led by Eddie Simpson, after it. Bud and his wingman, John Scarra, stay after the other three ME-109s. Bud uses the Mustang's superior speed and gets within 300 yards of the Messerschmitt.
When you shoot somebody down, the best way to do it is to get right here, what we call 6 o'clock. That's what I did with this guy.
The wounded 109 does something that amazes Anderson. He keeps flying upside down.
And I thought, what the heck's he doing, you know? If he's going to run away, he just would roll over and pull away. I'm sitting there right side up very comfortably and pump some more shells into him.
It was Anderson's 6th kill of the war. It's now 2 against 2. Bud can tell the Germans are nervous. Their planes twitch as the pilots strain, pulling on the stick as they look over their shoulders. One German dives to escape. The other climbs and turns. He still wants to fight. Clearly, one experienced dogfighter.
When you saw a German airplane, you treated him like the Red Baron. I mean, you used every advantage you had over him, and without the knowledge of knowing who was in that airplane.
Bud tries to follow the ME-109. The German turns a hard left. Bud realizes he's going too fast to make the turn. He passes the German and climbs, trying to gain the advantage. Bud is now above the German. If the German continues to turn, Bud can drop on him. If he dives, Anderson can give chase. But the ME-109 skillfully reverses his turn, pulls a hard right, and gets behind the Mustangs. Bud is in front. His wingman, John Scarra, is right behind. It's now Scarra who has the German on his tail. Anderson tells Scarra to dive, hoping the German will follow.
I'll drop in behind him. Maybe we can get him that way. So John did that. Sure enough, boy, he went right after him.
At over 400 miles per hour, Bud dives after the ME-109 that's still on Scarra's tail.
He sees that right away. He comes on, straightens out, pulls away. Then he comes around on this hard turn again.
The German has pulled the same maneuver. Left turn, hard right. Using Bolka's 5th rule, he's now on Bud's tail.